This video is sponsored by PCBWay. Hello my goblins and ghouls, my name is Steven, and today we are making a monster motherboard that's going to control the entire pick and place. Up until this point, I've been using kind of a smorgasbord of all these different individual boards that are all kind of talking to each other and interfacing with each other. Arduino Mega, Ramp Shield, Piggyback board, all of this stuff kind of all separate, connected together, doing what I needed to do to control the pick and place. Well, it's wicked messy. It's great for prototyping, it let me get up and going really fast, but it's definitely not a good long-term solution. So today we're taking all three of those boards and we're putting them together into one motherboard. I designed this motherboard to control the index, but I would love if it is universal enough that any person that builds their own pick and place can use this board too. If you absolutely hate my mechanical design for the index, but you still need a good controller, I would love for this to be a good option and be able to support anything that you want in your specific build. But at the end of this video, when you see what I've spun up in this thing, let me know what you think is completely unnecessary in this that I can remove, and maybe some things that I missed, so I can make this design work for pretty much anybody that needs a pick and place controller. I did throw a couple other little things in here. The first one that I'm incredibly excited about is I actually put a USB hub on this board. Normally with OpenPMP, you have to plug in your controller into your computer, the thing that's actually getting the commands on how to move the pick and place. But then you have two other USB webcams that need to plug into two other USB ports on your computer. And that just feels a little messy to me. So I decided to put a USB hub on here so you can plug the webcams directly into the motherboard, and then just one USB cable goes from the motherboard into your computer, and OpenPMP sees two cameras and the controller all through one cable. I'm incredibly excited about this. I used the FE 1.1S chip. Someone did a little board using this chip as a little USB hub for like RetroPie consoles. I'll put a link in the description to that project. So let's spin it up and see if we can get USB working on this, and then I'll go ahead and start putting all the rest of the goodies on there. Oh boy. Alrighty, so we got all the USB stuff soldered up. The biggest unknown about this little bit is the USB hub chip. And then I also put a CH340G on there, and that takes the USB from one of the ports on the hub and converts it into UART so I can talk to the microcontroller, the main thing driving the show. I need to be able to talk to it over USB, so I put that on there too. This is a really cool little connector. It's a stacked USB-A, so you can plug two right on top of each other, and these are for the webcams. And then this USB-B, I think, this plugs into the computer. So I'm gonna plug it in and we're gonna see if it enumerates, if anything shows up at all. And then if that works, which I highly doubt, we'll try and plug in something else to here and see if it'll talk over the hub. If it enumerates, I'm gonna see a new port in here. It should see the CH340 chip. Okay, here we go. Okay, no fires. Nothing's getting hot, so that's good. All right, let's check ports. Come on, baby. Oh my god! That's a port! I think it actually works! Oh my, okay, I gotta try a webcam. Oh, okay, here we go. Come on. Okay, what can I use? I'll use photo booth. Oh my gosh! It works! Look at this! It's literally piping video through the USB port. Oh my god. Holy smokes. I literally can't believe this. My motherboard is taking data from this webcam, it's taking it into an onboard hub, and then streaming it back to my computer. What I should actually try is if I can get another webcam. Okay, here's another webcam. Okay, we now have two webcams plugged in. Oh my gosh! It webcams. I can't believe it works. I had to take a second to calm down. Okay, so now that that works, the next step is getting the ATmega 2560 on here. That's the same microcontroller on the Arduino Mega. It's the brains of the thing. It's what listens to the G code that I'm sending over to the pick and place, and it controls all the feeders and motors and MOSFETs and all that. Then I'll try and throw some firmware on it, and if that works, I think this thing has a pretty good shot of working like in its entirety. The other things are stuff that I've done before, so I have a better feeling about whether or not I messed it up. Sweet. All right, let's solder it up. Alright, so the chip is soldered on. So now I'm going to try and burn the bootloader on it using the ICSP header. Most AVR chips have this pinout, and it's used for like programming and burning fuses and stuff. So I'm going to try and burn the bootloader. Hopefully it talks back to the computer and everything works well. Here we go. Nice. Burn bootloader. Oh, it looks like it's doing it! Yes! Yes! Awesome! Cool! Alright, so the chip is talking back to the computer, no problem. So now, what am I gonna do now? Now I wanna test to see if this thing can talk back to my computer through the USB hub. We already know that the webcams can send data through the hub, no problem, but what I'm not sure yet is if the CH340G chip, which is just taking USB and converting it to serial, I wanna make sure that chip is working, that it will actually convert the serial from the ATmega and spit it out back into the hub over USB. So I'm gonna put a little program on here that just sends data over serial every like 100 milliseconds and see if we can get it to come up on the computer. Here's hoping. I'm gonna move you so you can see. Looks good. Here we go, open the port. Nothing. Yeah, that should be working. Nerds. Okay, I need to check my KiCad here. Oh, that's probably it, huh? Yeah, I think I just flipped the wires. Okay, so I think the problem is the receive and transmit lines on the ATmega 2560. Wow, that is hard to keep pulling up. I think those lines are just flipped from what they should be in order to talk to the chip that's doing USB. So I'm just gonna really jankly desolder those two pins, lift them up, flip them around, and then use a couple bodge wires to solder them where I think they should be. And hopefully we'll get talking serial. It's 3 hours later, and it finally works. It totally was not that I had the RX and TX pins flipped around. I actually had it right the first time. But then I flipped them around, thinking I was solving it, and it threw me off for like the next hour and a half. It just ended up being that I had a resistor and a capacitor in the wrong footprints. I just switched them around, and it was holding the ATmega in a constant reset state. It just never booted. But it actually works now. This is literally two webcam streams, one right here and another one I have mounted over there, all talking through the USB hub along with serial communication with the ATmega. This is a serial port open to the ATmega. I can just send some characters over and it'll send them back to me one by one, just to make sure that serial communication is working both directions. Okay, that's the hard stuff. Making sure that the microcontroller turns on, making sure that the USB stuff works, that was what I was unsure about. All right, I'm gonna buckle down and populate the whole rest of the board. I'll see you in like 12 hours. Here we go. Everything works. Hear that? That's the relay going. And that's the pump going. And of course, motor movement. But the one thing that isn't working is the feeders. During this whole thing, I asked on my Discord server what people thought about how I was talking to the feeders. Ring was really fun to make, but it didn't feel very reliable, and y'all convinced me to switch to RS-485. I'll talk more about RS-485 in a different video, but it's a much more robust protocol, but what that means is a third of this board is totally useless. So I didn't bother trying to get Ring implemented into Marlin because it would have been a huge pain in the butt to do, and it was going to be completely useless anyway. So on the next revision of the board, I'll make sure that RS-485 is integrated into it, and we'll be talking to feeders all day long. I'm doing some mechanical upgrades on the index right now, so there's a fair amount of it torn down, so I won't be able to control absolutely everything with the motherboard right now, but I can get it mounted on there and looking nice. This was one heck of a build. A ton of time in CAD getting all of this stuff on there and routed appropriately, firmware updates and actually soldering the thing, but it is so worth it to be able to send a command to a board I designed and have it move the machine while also streaming USB camera video feedback. Get out of here, that's so cool! But there's still a whole bunch of stuff that I want to make changes to on this board. I'm gonna have to replace all this with the RS-485 interface, and then I need to figure out what I want to keep on this part. So I would love your feedback on what do you think is unnecessary on this board that I could scrap? And the corollary to that, what did I forget that's really important for pick and place builds? Alright, that's it for this one, but before I go, I want to give a quick thanks to this video sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay made the boards for this project and they came out absolutely beautiful. Their matte black solder mask, which I love, came out really consistent and nice. Their boards are at an insanely good price and they come wicked fast. I put out a video every 2 weeks and sometimes that's the timeline I need to be able to design, order, get one in, and spin it up. And they are fast enough that I can do that, which is super helpful for being able to iterate really quickly and do a whole bunch of prototypes really fast. They also offer the ENIG gold-plated finish on all the pads, so you can get that nice matte black gold finish. The boards came out absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much to PCBWay for sponsoring this video. If you don't know what a buck converter is, I'll link to an awesome video. Which side is it? One of these corners. Which one is it, actually? Is it this one? I think it's this one. Which corners? I think it's this one. I'm just gonna point to this one.